Good morning, MegaPodlings. It's Krazy Joe. It is rainy outside. But that building right there is Water Tower Cinema. And we are going to check out the new Disney movie, Cruella, starring Emma Stone. I'm looking forward to checking this out. I hear it's pretty good. It's getting good reviews. So, there's two, not one, but two big movies opening this weekend. We got Cruella, and we have A Quiet Place 2. I chose to go see Cruella first because I was not that enamored with the original Quiet Place. I mean, it was okay. I know a lot of people really, really loved it. I thought it was fine, but it wasn't one of my favorites, personally. It was, I enjoyed it. Like, I don't hate the movie or anything, but I don't think it's, like, to the level a lot of people put it on. I think it's overrated. So I opted, of the two, to go with Cruella, though I'm sure I'm going to check out A Quiet Place 2 as well. It's just, we'll do Cruella first. So I'm procrastinating because I don't want to go out in the pouring rain, but we got to go into that theater. That's what we got to do. We got to go out into the pouring rain and get ourselves inside. Let's not waste any more time. Let's do this. Here we go. The rain is coming down. I don't know how well you can see it on camera, but trust me, believe me, it's coming down. Ooh. Somebody had a birthday. Happy birthday, whoever. Somebody had a pizza. And why not? It's Friday. Fridays are for pizza. Pizza Friday. Here we are. I still got to put my mask on. I didn't put my mask on yet. There's a SpongeBob musical coming. Look at that. That's pretty cool. Scoob is playing. 1 year later, Scoob is finally in theaters.
So good.
There's the poster. That's what we're doing. From what I understand, it's a prequel to the Glenn Close movies, which I've never seen. And there's A Quiet Place 2, which I'm sure I will see soon enough. This, I've never heard of before. Hero Mode. I do not know what this is. But look over here. Shang-Chi has a poster. And we are going to Theater 6. But first, what is this? Movies will never be the same again. Tub Club. $12 bucket. Refills $2. Oh. It's the winner of the best deal in the world. Am I going to take part? You bet I am. All right, here we go. Theater 6.
And then please. The character is so much fun and so kind of intoxicating. Once you put this wild black and white hair and this incredible makeup and these completely unique costumes on, you feel like you're the villain. The villains are always kind of the fun ones. And stuff that's really fun. You get really extreme stuff.
Back row. So we're back from seeing Cruella, and I just shook the whole camera. So what did I think of Cruella? Well, I gotta tell you, I mostly liked it. I think the movie was a little bit long. It could have been a little bit shorter. And, we had a discussion recently on the podcast about the length of movies. What is too long? What is too short? And I always say there's no set answer. It really is what the story demands. A movie could be 3 hours long and not long enough. A movie could be 90 minutes and too short. It's like, it depends. If you have 90 minutes worth of story, your movie should be 90 minutes. If you have 90 minutes worth of story and your movie's 3 hours, it's too long. If you have 3 hours worth of story and your movie's 90 minutes, your movie is too short. The runtime needs to match the story. This is the discussion Jacob and I just had on the podcast, but I do feel that Cruella was maybe a little too long. I think 15, 20 minutes could have been trimmed, given it a tighter runtime. But ultimately, I enjoyed this movie. Emma Stone gives a good performance in it. It's a good period piece set in the 1960s, 1970s, about Cruella's origins, Cruella's rise to power, if you will. There's some question. When I heard this movie was being made, a young Cruella de Vil movie, I thought it was just going to be a straight-up reboot, free of any continuity. Then I started reading in different articles that it's actually meant to be a prequel to the two Glenn Close movies from the 90s, 101 Dalmatians and 102 Dalmatians, the two movies she made in the 90s, that I never saw. And I didn't think, as this movie was being made and originally marketed, that this movie was related to those movies. I thought this was just a standalone story about Cruella de Vil and not part of an established continuity. But then I started reading, no, this is intended to be a prequel to those movies. Now, like I said, I haven't seen those movies, but from what I understand, the continuity does not line up perfectly. I'm not going to criticize the movie on that because I can't. I didn't see those movies. And number two, you really have to just take it as its own thing and criticize, what do we think of this thing here, not what do we think of this and how it relates to this. So taking it from that perspective, I think it's a fun movie. I think it's really fun. Got good performances. We got some great time set pieces from the late 60s and the early 70s. The music choices really kind of put you in that time frame. And it makes Cruella de Vil a more complex character. We find out, she's not all bad. We see her good side. But it also doesn't try to sugarcoat it and make her the hero of the film either. No, she's still a villain. She's just a little more complex villain, and we understand her a little bit better. How does this rank amongst the Disney live-action remakes? Well, that's a good question. First of all, does this even count? Does this even count as a Disney live-action remake when this is not an actual quote-unquote remake, but an origin story? This is more like a Maleficent than a Aladdin with Will Smith, or Beauty and the Beast with Hermione, whose name just escaped me. Wow, I forgot her. I forgot her name. Jeez, just right out of my head. But anyway, this tells a new story, an original story, and it's not telling the story of 101 Dalmatians. So I don't know if it fits into that box, but I would say it's one of the better ones, and I would say maybe the fact that it does tell an original story and doesn't try to rehash what we already saw in an animated classic. Maybe that's one of the strengths of the film, and maybe that's something Disney should consider doing more of, taking these animated films and instead of doing a straight-up live-action remake, maybe you do a spin on it. It worked for Maleficent, too, because Maleficent's a great movie. And one of the great strengths of Maleficent is it differs greatly from the animated film. It's not the same story. And I think maybe that's something they should explore going forward. This movie is playing right now in theaters, and it's also on Disney Premier Access. As always, I stand firmly against Disney Premier Access on Disney Plus. I don't believe it. I believe it's a double dip. It's a double dip. Yeah, you have to be a Disney Plus subscriber. So they're already getting your monthly subscription fee. And then on top of that, they want a $30 price range so that you can, quote unquote, own the movie. But you don't actually own the movie, because as soon as you are no longer a member of Disney Plus, you don't have access to it anymore. That's not owning. I would be more lenient on this film if they were charging $30 on a platform like Vudu or Google Play, iTunes, something where you do own the movie or something closer to owning the movie. I know people will say even then you don't really own it because they could take it from you, but that's kind of true. But that's a whole other discussion for a whole other time. You do own it more in a sense than getting it off a place like Disney Plus. So I say no to premium access. Go see this in your local theater. If you can't get out to your local theater, just wait it out. This will be on Disney Plus soon enough for your regular subscription fee, or buy it when it hits Vudu or Blu-ray or whatever. That's my recommendation. High five for Cruella. Worth watching, worth checking out. Keep wearing those pajamas.
Keep wearing those pajamas with the plastic feet. Keep wearing those pajamas. Tell everyone you meet. Keep wearing those pajamas with the back door flap. Keep wearing those pajamas. Don't open, it's a trap. Oh no, it's a trap. Some people call them PJs, some people call them jammies. They can come embroidered with big money and no whammies. They can have 100 tiny commander pajamas, but no matter how they look, just keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep on wearing those pajamas. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now we're having fun. Keep wearing those pajamas. And now the song is done.